the ultimate destination for pro wrestling, National Football League, National Basketball Association, Ultimate Fighting Championship, and other professional sport and or combat league coverage. Welcome to J. Rich Talks.
Hey guys, it's J. Rich from J. Rich Talks, and we're going to talk about Raise Energy. Tonight, an exclusive offer. Raise has been kind enough to give me an offer to give you guys 15% off on all Raise products on the store. Now, some may not be familiar with Raise, some may, but if you're wondering what Raise Energy Drink is, it's a healthier option, an alternative to other energy drinks out there. Similar to Monster, Red Bull, or whatnot. Raise has zero crash, and actually has some health benefits to boot. You can use it for a workout at the gym, used for a whole multitude of reasons. And with this exclusive offer, you can save 15% or more in their store. And all you got to do, you're probably wondering, how is this possible? How do I do it? Go to theraise.com, Raise Energy, and type in the coupon code, the section at the checkout, type in J Rich Talks. All one word, J Rich Talks. It's JRICHTALKS. Again, that's going to be JRICHTALKS. You too can have the largest arms in the world, or be your Olympic hero with Raise Energy Drink. Welcome everyone to another episode of J Rich Talks. This episode is going to be the recap of UFC 261. And usually I try to do it the night of the fight, or it's, right after the fight. And man, I got to tell you, I was I was pretty exhausted. I was tired after watching the post-fight press conference. I do that as well before I do a review, so that way in case any updates are picked up there. Plus, it's just kind of tradition for me. After the UFC pay-per-views, I watch the post-fight press conference and kind of wrap up my night. And oh my God, what a night it was. I've seen some really exciting UFC pay-per-views in my time. It's too early to say this is the best one, because there's been a lot of crazy ones. But I can tell you right now, this is in the top 10 or 5 UFC pay-per-views that I've seen live. So, wow. Every fight on the card delivered. Well, 2 fights didn't really nap it off, we're going to be honest. But so let's go ahead and start there. Let me pull up my notes real quick, and we'll just run right through this. So, the opening fight of the card, Anthony Lionheart Smith versus Jimmy Crute. Wasn't overly familiar with Jimmy Crute. I knew a lot about Anthony Smith, obviously, and I was kind of more focused on him in this fight than I was Jimmy Crute. I wanted to see where Anthony Smith's going to go from this. I know he had a couple losses there after John Jones, and he had picked up a win recently, I think, but it was, he's kind of on that trajectory where he's kind of just floating around. He hasn't been doing anything, and he needs to shoot up, because right now that light heavyweight division's kind of open and up for grabs. Jan Blachowicz, don't sleep on him. He's obviously a tremendous fighter, but there's a lot of room for potential for opponents, and even for Jan himself. So the light heavyweight division, I just see a lot of potential in for guys to be able to come up and take that crown, because there's a lot of room there. And so I wanted to see what Anthony Smith could do, and he came out and he looked tremendous. Was throwing nice jabs. He ate a couple leg kicks, but he threw, after receiving a few inside and outside leg kicks, he threw one of the most disgusting, crazy motherfucking outside leg kicks I've ever seen. Now, I don't know if there was a Joe Rogan alluded to nerve damage. Dana White said that he may have blown out his knee. But Jimmy Crute, upon receiving said leg kick, completely lost control of his left leg and couldn't keep his footing. And he just kept falling down immediately. His foot just kept buckling. And every time he did it, the crowd's going, "Oh!" It was just fucking disgusting. And I'm talking like, this is within the first minute or two of the first round. Like, it was right there at the beginning. Like, this fight had really not gone underway. The only thing you'd seen is a couple of really nice jabs and some leg kicks from Crute. But, you know, that was about it. Like, that was it. So, Anthony Smith with the walk-off leg kick for the dub. Like, it's just so crazy. Like, this fucking pay-per-view made no sense. But, so yeah, I noted this is insane. And then Anthony Crute, or Jimmy Crute, he continued to try to get up, and he wanted to fight, and he almost got a chance to go into the second round, but when the ref was like allowing it, he backed up and he's like ready to go against the cage, you know, get in his position, and his fucking his fucking foot buckled right then. And the ref was looking right at him as his foot buckled, so that thankfully they didn't go into the second round. Oh my God. Or continue the fight, rather. God damn. It just, man, I'm telling you, man. Oh, no, that was right. It wasn't early in the first. You got a whole round out of it. Basically. Oh, yeah, and that was the other thing. So, I gotta cover this. I gotta just read by the notes instead of reacting. It's just, I remember it so clearly in my head. So when he hit that leg kick, and this is probably the most impressive thing out of this whole ordeal. He hits the leg kick, his leg goes out. He has no leg. His leg's buckling, he's falling down, but he falls down into a double leg takedown. He literally like collapses, but like shoots in a double leg at the same time. And then, obviously Anthony Smith escapes, but it happens again. He then explodes towards the end of the round with another goddamn takedown. You can't make this up. This dude got 2 takedowns with one leg against Anthony Smith. Like, it just... Oh, man. But, fucking insane fight. Jimmy Crute's fucking insane. If you weren't a fan or familiar with them before, you are now. It was great shit. So, when I put these notes, I usually go, move by move, or I try to anyway, and then I go round by round, and, put my score for each round, et cetera, et cetera. So I get to the next fight, and after that, I'll use the return button, I'll go to the next fight, right? So I put the next fight, Uriah Hall versus Chris Weidman. I press the return button. After all the entrances and whatnot, fight's about to start. The very first thing I type is, Chris Weidman just pulled a Silva. Because that was the first thing you saw of the fight. The opening strike of the fight. Well, there was a jab, but he basically, it happened it happened under 5 seconds, I think. Like, literally, he went in there, he, threw a punch, like a jab, and then he just threw the fucking leg kick. And it was his right leg as opposed to his left. I think Anderson's was the left. And he did an outside leg kick, whereas Anderson's was an inside. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, because there's a couple differences, and I know Joe Rogan pointed it out. But he basically picture for picture, shot for shot, it was the exact same fucking injury. And this is where the show just, I noted, what the fuck is this pay-per-view? Because I just couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, what the hell? But sure enough, God, man, I feel so bad for Chris Weidman too, man. Like, this, he's ate a lot of shit from MMA fans for quite a few years now. I'd say, damn near 10, 12 years. He's ate a lot of shit. That his wins against Anderson were a fluke. The first win, was just Anderson beat himself. He fucking left his head open for that left hook. And fucking the second one, it's like, Anderson broke his leg. But people forget, Chris Weidman was dominating throughout that entire fight. And I see a lot of people on Twitter and social media saying this is justified. It's karma because of the first one. I'm not a believer 100% in karma, but I do think that, like, you know, sometimes life has a funny way of you know, certain things happening again, because you don't see this kind of shit often. There's only ever been 3 snapped legs in the history of the UFC, and Chris Weidman is involved in 2 of them. It's just fucked up. Because for him, he ate a lot of shit, and he is a tremendous fighter. Is he as good as, like, maybe, you know, Joe Rogan and some of the commentary crew in the UFC hype him up to be? Probably not. But Chris Weidman, he's been basically his entire career up to this point has been him trying to prove that win was you know, fucking, that those wins against Anderson Silva were not a fluke. He's trying to prove that he is a fucking champion. And it's just sad that it's come to that point, and now he'll never get a chance to prove it. He's never going to get a chance at a second title run. And I mean, obviously, he probably wouldn't have had a chance anyway. And should he ever have gotten a fight against Israel, he probably wouldn't have won anyway. It would have been pretty bad for him. But it's just the fact that now he's never going to get a chance to try. You got to feel bad for Uriah Hall too. He wanted this fight because the first person to ever knock him out and the first person that got him into fighting was Chris Weidman. And so this is a big fight. There was a lot of emotions and personal shit in this, and for it to end the way it did, it didn't feel right. And but yeah, so I best condolences to Chris Weidman. I wish nothing but the best for him. I hope he can heal and come back from this, but at his age and with the level of competition that's there in the middleweight division and the amount of losses he's had in the past few years, this is probably it for him. He might find a place or a home at one championship. He might find a place or a home at Bellator, should he want to fight again. But I don't think, and I've gotten kind of, you know, over the years, I have gotten to kind of know how Vince McMahon works, and his inner workings and his mind, and how he feels about guys, how he cuts guys, etc. But I've also watched Vince for 20 years. With Dana, it's starting to get to that point. Like I'm kind of getting a feel for his mindset on things. And I don't think, for a shadow of a doubt, that Dana is going to allow this shit to continue. So I think this is probably it for Weidman. And it sucks to say that. Like, I'm not in no way, shape, or form trying to take anything away from his career or that he doesn't deserve to continue to fight for the UFC. I just think between this, he's going to be a shell of his athletic former self. It's going to take a long time to recover his age, his past record. He's just not been looking like Chris Weidman as of the past few years. The Yoel Romero knockout was scary. I think this is it. So, and it sucks to say that, but I think this is it. So, Uriah Hall, I don't know where he goes from here. This is the shit point of the pay-per-view, man. I mean, this is the one thing that sucked out of it, but it's still crazy. I mean, this is the most explosive UFC pay-per-view that we've seen in quite some time. But goddamn, man, this is the sad part. But let's go ahead and get done with this, because I don't want to droop on it all day. But the next fight. So you got to think about this pay-per-view. There's been 2 consecutive leg kick finishes that led to, like, doctor stoppages and shit, right? So this pay-per-view just seems cursed, doomed, crazy, whatever the fuck. Well, the next fight's Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade, and I'm fully expecting this fight to, like, fucking, you know, possibly go the distance, because Valentina's not really known for her knockout power. You know, she's finished some girls, yes, but And also, I didn't see her finishing Jessica Andrade. I figured she would probably outclass her the whole fight and, just completely counter everything she threw. The only thing we were also worried about her clinching up against the cage. Would fucking Jessica be able to pick her up and slam her? So there was a couple things that Jessica Andrade brought that was different, but I still expected Valentina to basically just win. But I didn't think it would be this way. So this fight opens up, and Valentina's just hitting counter 1-2s. She took a fucking... there was like 7 because I'm not going to break down every single fucking one. I'll just go in the order that I wrote it down. But she had 7 takedowns in this fight. She tied the record for the most takedowns in a single fight for the UFC women's flyweight division. She is a fucking monster. But she fucking, she took her down and immediately is in side control. They get back up pretty well, pretty quick, and she immediately just trips her down again. And then they get back up again. She's in back clinch. Jessica, I noted, continued to get back up very quickly. And Valentina hit another fucking takedown. She just keeps throwing her ass down. She is throwing this bitch around. This bitch that's quite bigger than her. Jessica's a big girl. And she fucking is sitting there in back mount. She almost has her rear naked. It's not looking good. I noted Valentina Shevchenko is a bad bitch. Because at this point, she's just fucking her up, bro. Like, this shit is crazy. They stand up, they're on the cage. She's got a double underhook, and she's just wailing some fucking knees on her. And it's fucking huge Valentina chants in the crowd. Huge pro-Valentina crowd. Fucking Valentina's in side control. And, beats her up some more, and that's when the round ends. Obviously, 10-9 Valentina. You could make a case based off of the fact that Jessica wasn't really doing anything. She kind of was defending stuff, but you could almost make a case of a 10-8. Like, I think it wouldn't be the craziest ruling. It would be a little ridiculous, but it wouldn't be the craziest thing I've ever seen with the current judging system. So, I mean, that's how dominant that first round was. But anyway, round 2, Valentina starts off dominating again. She's taking her down again. She's in side control. She's in half guard. She's hitting nice strikes from the bottom, though, by Jessica. Like, she had some nice elbows and some punches. She was holding her own. They're up against the cage. And this is the turning point of the fight where I think Jessica Andrade knew. It was like that meme, it was at this point that she knew. She fucked up. Because at this point, she tried to lift Valentina, and Valentina just continued to counter and put all her weight down and say, fuck you, bitch. So, Jessica Andrade is fucked. At this point, she's fucked. So, the only thing she can hope for is to, like, a counter overhand from hell. But no, it wasn't going to happen. Valentina hit another takedown to set the record. She put her in a crucifix. A fucking crucifix. She is the female Matt fucking the female Matt, no, not Matt Hamill, Matt Hughes. She's female Matt Hughes now, where she's putting motherfuckers in crucifixes in a goddamn championship fight, and she's just wailing with elbows. Disgusting. I didn't even notice that it was disgusting, and she just fucking wailing on this poor girl. Cutting her fucking head open, cutting her eye open. And that was it. TKO. And still, your UFC women's flyweight champion of the world, Valentina Shevchenko. What a fucking fight. I'm telling you, man, that shit was just fucking insane. Put some fucking respect on her name. Because that is a bad bitch. Now, where do I see Jessica Andrade going from here? She's in that tough position where she's lost to a bunch of different ladies now. Her most notable win was against Rose Namajunas, and in the rematch, Rose didn't look the greatest, but she still beat her. It's like she's a bad matchup for Rose, but against all the other ladies, Joanna, fucking, etc., she just doesn't... She has some problems. She needs to I tell you what she needs to do. She needs to work on some wrestling to beat some of those other girls pretty quickly. But for Valentina, that ain't never going to happen. So if I was Jessica Andrade, I was going to say maybe she could, put on some weight and go up a division, but I don't even think that's going to help. She'd go to 135, get her head taken off by Amanda Nunes. So she's probably just going to coast right now. Man. Wow. Anyway. It's just, this whole thing's crazy. It's just... So, we go to get some shots of the crowd. Some celebrities that are in attendance. We got Antonio Brown. They booed the shit out of him. But the only reason I wrote this down is, I noted here, huge pop for Nick Diaz. Crowd went fucking insane. And this is in Florida, not California. So people are ready for Nick Diaz. Fucking Dana White, when they asked him, hey, what's the deal with Nick Diaz? He said, oh yeah, he wants a fight. So fucking, oh yeah. Fucking, I think that was the test in the waters. Crowd's ready for it. Dana's ready for it. Nick's ready for it. He was going to meet with them after the fight. Man, we're about to get some Nick Diaz, baby. But now is the fight that I personally was looking forward to the most. And it's nothing against Valentina Shevchenko. It's nothing against Uriah Hall, Chris Weidman. It's nothing against Anthony Smith and Jimmy Crute. It's nothing against, Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. This is the fight I was looking the most forward to. A couple of these fights are rematches already. A couple of these fights, I like Valentina Shevchenko, Jessica Andrade, you kind of already knew the result. This is the fight that I was looking most forward to seeing. Because Zhang Weili and fucking Joanna Jędrzejczyk was probably one of the best fights next to Diego Sanchez and Gilbert Melendez that I'd ever seen. It was fucking amazing. So I could not wait for this fight, because you take out Joanna and you put in Rose Namajunas, Thug motherfucking Rose, and the tempo changes, motherfuckers. And oh my god. Rose comes out, that crowd's popping for her, man. A hugely pro Rose crowd, because fucking Zhang Weili comes out and the crowd's just booing the doggy doo-doo butt cheek trash at her. Like, they did not like Zhang, and I cannot believe that, because Zhang that's a bad bitch right there. And they come in round one, Rose is throwing some jabs, Zhang hits some inside leg kicks. It was kind of going like that for a couple minutes, and or not even a couple minutes, just for a minute, because 1 minute and 18 seconds in, and BAM! Head kick from hell. A sneaky fucking roundhouse. And Rose Namajunas, the fucking victory. Bro, that bitch, man, that's a bad woman right there. She fucking, oh my god. I just couldn't believe it when I saw it. The commentary, the crowd, it was an amazing moment. She's crying. It did feel like Joe Rogan said, it was a magical moment in MMA, because that's a bad woman in Zhang Weili, and not a lot of people probably would have picked Rose to come in and win this fight. I mean, it would have been more interesting. Like I said, the tempo changes because it becomes more of a striking fight, and there's no grappling here. There's no bullshit. There's no, it's not as much, kickboxing. There's going to be a lot of fucking punches thrown. There's going to be, Rose is the person you come in to fuck everything up. Like, she fucks a whole game plan up, because there's no real way to prepare for her. I mean, that girl, she's so explosive. Her strikes are great. She has, taekwondo, like she was saying at the post-fight presser. She's got some great hands. And she's not bad in the clinch game, although, it showed she had some issues against Jessica Andrade, but who doesn't at that size? Man, hugely impressive. And it doesn't take anything away from Zhang Weili, because I know a lot of people are going to hate on her, and that is a bad girl right there, motherfuckers. That is a bad girl right there. I'm telling you, Zhang Weili, That's what made this so impressive. And I hope they get a rematch or something. Maybe, oh my God, maybe we can get Jong and fucking Joanna next. And that could be like the number one contenders bout. And they take on, the winner of fucking Rose and whoever the hell the next contender is. I'm on board. And I've never seen more interest in the women's strawweight division until now. This shit was popping, yo. I can't wait. So, let's go. Where I see, like I said, I already kind of see where, these ladies are going, but it is what it is. Let's get to the main event. So, the main event, Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. This is the second fight. And the thing that bothers me about this fight is the build-up to it is all about, well, last time Jorge didn't have a whole camp. He wasn't ready for Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman, by that same fucking logic, wasn't necessarily ready for Jorge Masvidal. But guess what he did? He came in there and he fucked him up. He wrestled him for all 5 rounds, destroyed that motherfucker in the first fight. He had a shattered nose going into that fight. No one wants to put some respect on Usman today. And I get it. Because sometimes it's not fun looking at these wrestlers. And I wasn't a fan of Usman at first because of that fucking stupid fucking fight where he was like, this is me at 30%. It's only 30%. And I'm just like, oh, this fucking clown. Right? He has grown so much from that. And this is a bad motherfucker. This dude has a nice right hand. He throws that cross, he throws that fucking overhand, and you better be fucking ready. Because he did it against Kobe, broke his fucking jaw. And now, he's the first person ever with that right hand to knock out Jorge Masvidal in 54 fights. Let that sink in. So, God damn. But this fight I think it delivered. Because it started round 1. Jorge was throwing a lot of feints. And he throwing feints with leg kicks. He's over here throwing feints. Everything. And he's trying to get Usman to bite. And a couple of times Usman would bite and he'd try to back up. And Jorge was trying to set up some shit. He even teased it after he threw a feint at the body with the roundhouse, and then he came over the top with a fucking hand. But Usman was able to block it. I think he knew. Maybe Usman looked at some tape and looked at what Jorge was trying to set up. But for the most part, he's just throwing a lot of feints. Usman's hitting some nice jabs. I mean, that's how he knocked out the old dude, was with the jab. So I think that's how he knocked out Gilbert Burns, but. Man, he was throwing some nice fucking jabs. Fucking Jorge hitting some nice outside leg kicks. They at one point both traded counter hooks. Jorge hit a left hook, counter left hook. He fucking Usman hit a right. That was a cool spot. Jorge even smiled and laughed at him. Fucking there was a flying knee attempt after I believe a jab or something by Jorge that was caught by Usman into a takedown. Usman was in full guard, and this is where the fight stayed for about a minute or so. But this is where this round was so tough to score because he didn't really do anything with the full guard, and the entire time Jorge's actually the one taking advantage of it because he was hitting some nice elbows from his back. He's on his back, and he's not just throwing elbows just like a fucking random person. He's twisting his whole body into him. And but they kept getting up, and Kamaru was looking for the backpack position and back clench to try to wail on him. Jorge did not allow it. And Jorge started pounding on his calves and hit a really nice flurry and a flying knee to end the round. So I gave it 10-9 Jorge, mainly because I feel like the work on the ground. Because you can make a case that Kamaru won the fight won that round off of the takedown and some of the work he put in, but at the same time, what did he do with the takedown? He maintained top control, but at the same time, he maintained top control while he was getting hit with fucking elbows. The person that did the most damage, threw the most strikes, and had the most, performed the best in that first round was Jorge Masvidal. He even got back to his feet, avoided some damage and back clinch, landed some nice flurries. I think Jorge Masvidal won round 1, 10-9 Jorge going into round 2. Jorge's looking pretty good. His cardio is amazing. And I'm just thinking, how, I'm just wondering, something's off. There was, this feeling, right? It's like, someone's about to get KO'd. I just had that. You can kind of tell with the UFC at times when this feeling where it's like, something crazy's about to happen. Could be good, could be bad, but something crazy. You just had this feeling, right? And so they open up round 2. Jorge's attacking the legs, and within seconds, BAM! Huge right hand by fucking Usman. And his head bobbled, he literally smacked against his shoulder, fell down, knocked Jorge the fuck out! He was out cold. This shit was nuts. At this point, I couldn't believe what the fuck I was seeing with this pay-per-view. I was like, holy shit. So fucking he pounds him out with a couple extra punches that put him completely out. And, oh my God. It just, man, and still, your UFC welterweight champion, Kamaru Usman. So, man, and he's going to fight Kobe Covington again next. I can't fucking wait. This is why I love the UFC, man. I love it. So, yeah, that was your recap of UFC 261. And these UFC videos are never really, too long. Or what videos? I said podcasts. This will be videos, because that's another thing. This is the other announcement with the show today. So, upon doing some research, found out about Restream. I found out about what I can do with Zoom. And currently, I'll tell you how we do these podcasts. We go on Skype. Skype has a beautiful feature where you can record it, and then I can immediately put it in an MP3 file, edit it in Audacity, and boom, throw it up on, Podbean and whatnot. But right now, through Zoom and through OBS, Restream, and a couple other ways, I figured out that I can fucking live stream the podcast. I've even figured out there's a couple platforms where I can make a pre-recorded podcast and throw that up live as well. So, I don't know what show we're going to do it. I'm aiming for the Raw show. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We may even try to do it on the WrestleMania Backlash. But I am excited to say we are going to be going live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. No. But yes, we will be going live. Again, I can't make a commitment to telling you what show it's going to be at the moment. I also wanted to note, I don't believe we will be doing NXT reviews for the foreseeable future, at least until I can figure out a schedule with all this. And it's just really tough going on Mondays, because Mondays, I'm gonna tell you right now, I watch both SmackDown and Raw on Monday night. I literally have to watch SmackDown prior to Raw, maybe literally just before it, or, a few hours before it, but I watch SmackDown to take my notes, I watch Raw, and then I take notes from Raw, and then we record the show as soon as Raw's finished. It's tough to do it that way, with that much wrestling, and people, guys' work schedules, sleep schedules, it makes it tough. So I just don't know where we could squeeze NXT in. I'm not trying to do Raw, SmackDown, NXT all in one show. That will not happen. So we'll figure it out. But as of right now, and for the foreseeable future, Raw and SmackDown will be the only wrestling shows that we talk about, and that will be on Monday nights, and those will obviously get uploaded on Tuesdays. Now, sometimes we may not get them out on Tuesday. We may not get them out on time. But I really want to say to all those guys out there and all the people listening to this that download the show every week, thank you for your support. Couldn't do this without you guys. This starts as something small, and it is still small. I just like to carry this as if it's, pretty big. And for someone that just started in a month, I'd like to think we're doing pretty fucking good. So it is getting pretty big for such a small podcast. We already got a sponsor. How many podcasts do you know that, regardless of how, if it's the ambassador program or not, how many fucking podcasts do you know within this, amount of time that already have a sponsor, already have a, set way and path of where they want to go? And I think what makes this so good is just the content that we talk about, sports. It sells itself. It makes it to where people want to listen to what the fuck happened to the sports and people's opinions on it. They want to know what happened after the game. They want to know what happened after the fight. They want to know what happened after Monday Night Raw. So I get it. I love it, and I'm passionate about it. I can't wait to see where we go from here. I know we're going to be talking about movie reviews as well sometime during this week. I had a listener message me and personally ask for the WWE Royal Rumble 1993. And for the record, if you have any classic UFC pay-per-views as well that you want reviewed, I'm on board. I'll do it. Any chance to go back and watch some classic shit, I'm down. And the boys would love to do it too. But, so this upcoming week's going to be a busy one because we're going to have Raw and SmackDown. We're going to have the Royal Rumble 1993. That's coming up this week. And we're also going to have the movie review for Mortal Kombat. Eventually, we will have the monster movie saga, whatever you want to call it, review. And that'll be about it. So, thank you guys, and I will talk to you later.